The hidden reason you wake up tired no matter how much you sleep. You set your alarm for 8 hours. You go to bed at a reasonable time. You do everything right. And then the alarm goes off and you lie there, eyes open, feeling like you barely slept at all. Your body is heavy. Your head is thick. The fatigue is not on the surface. It is deep, cellular, like something inside you never fully switched off. So you drink coffee. You push through the morning. By 2 in the afternoon, you are fighting to stay upright. By evening, you are exhausted enough to sleep again, and the cycle repeats, night after night, year after year. You have probably blamed your mattress, your stress levels, your age. You have probably accepted this as just how you are now. But here's what nobody has told you. The number of hours you sleep is almost irrelevant if the architecture of that sleep is broken. And for the majority of people walking around exhausted every morning, the architecture is broken in a very specific way. A way that has nothing to do with how long they were in bed and everything to do with what their brain was doing or failing to do during those hours. Let's go inside. To understand why you wake up tired, you first need to understand what sleep actually is. Most people think of sleep as a single state. You close your eyes, you lose consciousness, you wake up. But sleep is not one thing. It is a precisely choreographed sequence of biological stages that your brain cycles through multiple times each night. Each cycle takes approximately 90 minutes. Within each cycle, your brain moves through light sleep, deep slow-wave sleep, and REM sleep. Each stage has a completely different function. And here is what matters. You cannot substitute one stage for another. 8 hours of light sleep does not give you the restoration that 2 hours of deep sleep provides. The stages are not interchangeable. They are not flexible. Each one performs specific biological work that cannot happen any other time. When that sequence is disrupted, when your brain fails to reach the deeper stages, or keeps getting pulled out of them before the work is done, you wake up exhausted, regardless of how many hours you spent unconscious. This is the hidden reason, not sleep duration, sleep architecture. The first stage that most people are unknowingly destroying is slow-wave sleep, also called deep sleep, or N3. This is the stage where your brain does something extraordinary. Your glymphatic system, a network of fluid-filled channels surrounding your brain's blood vessels, activates almost exclusively during deep sleep. During the day, your neurons produce metabolic waste products as a byproduct of thinking, processing, and functioning. Adenosine, beta-amyloid, tau proteins, these compounds accumulate in your brain throughout your waking hours. They are neurotoxic in high concentrations. Your brain cannot clear them while you are awake because the process requires your neurons to contract, widening the channels for cerebrospinal fluid to flow through and flush the debris out. This contraction only happens in deep sleep. When you skip deep sleep or get insufficient deep sleep, this waste accumulates. Beta amyloid is the same protein that forms the plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. Every night you fail to reach adequate deep sleep is a night your brain's cleaning cycle runs incompletely. You wake up with a brain literally carrying more metabolic debris than it had the night before. That thick, foggy, heavy feeling you cannot shake in the morning is not metaphorical. It is the physical weight of a brain that did not get cleaned. The second stage being silently robbed from most people is REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. This is the stage most associated with dreaming, but its biological function goes far deeper than dream production. During REM sleep, your brain processes emotional memories. It strips the emotional charge from difficult experiences, preserving the factual memory while reducing the cortisol response attached to it. It consolidates new learning and skill acquisition, transferring information from short-term hippocampal storage to long-term cortical networks. It rebuilds the neurochemical balance of your prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for impulse control, decision-making, and emotional regulation. People who are chronically REM deprived do not just feel tired. They feel emotionally raw, reactive, unable to filter their responses. Small frustrations feel enormous. Decisions feel overwhelming. Motivation collapses. This is not a character flaw. This is what happens to a prefrontal cortex that has been deprived of the maintenance window it needs every single night. So, what is destroying your sleep architecture? The answer is almost certainly not what you think. The most common culprit is one that most people would never identify because it doesn't feel like it's affecting their sleep at all. It is alcohol. Not excessive alcohol, a glass of wine with dinner, one beer in the evening, the drink that feels like it helps you wind down, relax, and fall asleep faster. Here is the biology that almost no one understands. Alcohol is a sedative, not a sleep aid. It does help you fall asleep faster by suppressing your nervous system. But as your body metabolizes it, typically 3 to 4 hours after consumption, it produces a rebound effect. Glutamate, your brain's primary excitatory neurotransmitter, surges back in response to the suppression. This surge fragments your sleep architecture in the second half of the night. Your brain gets repeatedly pulled out of deep sleep and REM. You complete the hours. You do not complete the cycles. You wake up feeling sedated and unrestored simultaneously, because that is exactly what happened. You were sedated. You were not restored. The second most common architecture destroyer is light exposure. Specifically, blue light wavelengths in the 450 to 480 nanometer range, which is the precise spectrum emitted by your phone screen, your television, your laptop, and your LED overhead lights. Your brain's master clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, uses light as its primary timing signal. Blue light tells it that it is daytime. When you expose your retinas to screens until midnight, your brain suppresses melatonin by up to 90%. Melatonin is not a sleeping pill. It is a timing signal. It tells your circadian system that darkness has arrived and it is time to initiate the sleep sequence. Without adequate melatonin, your brain enters sleep but does not properly sequence the stages. The dive into slow-wave sleep is shallower and shorter. The REM windows are compressed. You technically slept, but your brain never fully executed the program. The third destroyer is cortisol timing. Your cortisol curve should follow a precise daily rhythm. High in the morning to mobilize energy and alertness, gradually declining through the day, reaching its lowest point around midnight. When chronic stress, inconsistent sleep timing, late eating, or excessive caffeine disrupts this curve, cortisol remains elevated into the hours when it should be at its lowest. Elevated cortisol suppresses slow-wave sleep directly. Your brain cannot descend into deep sleep while cortisol is signaling that vigilance and metabolic readiness are required. You lie in bed for hours. You drift in and out of light sleep. The deep restoration never comes. You wake up exhausted, and your cortisol is already rising again, triggering the next cycle of exhaustion before your day has even started. The fourth destroyer is body temperature. Your core body temperature must drop by approximately 1 to 1.5 degrees Celsius to initiate and maintain deep sleep. This temperature drop is not automatic. It requires your environment to support it. When you sleep in a room that is too warm, your body cannot complete this thermal drop. You get stuck in lighter sleep stages. Your slow-wave sleep is abbreviated. Research from the National Institutes of Health shows that sleeping in a room cooled to approximately 18 degrees Celsius significantly increases the percentage of restorative sleep stages compared to sleeping in warmer environments. Most people sleep too hot. Their bedrooms are heated for comfort, and their blankets are too heavy. The result is a night of shallow cycling that leaves them drained by morning. None of this requires a sleep lab to fix. It requires understanding the mechanism and removing the specific things that are breaking it. Stop alcohol within 4 hours of sleep, not because you have a drinking problem, but because the metabolic window is precise and the rebound is real. Eliminate screen light after sunset, or use blue light blocking glasses rated to filter the specific wavelength range. Eat your last meal at least 3 hours before bed, so insulin and cortisol are not elevated during the sleep initiation window. Drop your bedroom temperature to 18 degrees Celsius, or as close as your situation allows. Keep your sleep and wake times consistent within 30 minutes 7 days a week. Your circadian clock does not recognize weekends, and every hour of weekend sleep shifting costs you 2 days of cortisol disruption to recover. And get morning sunlight within 30 minutes of waking. 10 minutes of direct sunlight resets your suprachiasmatic nucleus and initiates the cortisol curve in the correct direction, which means it will reach its lowest point at the right time tonight. Which means tonight, your deep sleep architecture will be deeper than it was last night. Here is what is remarkable about all of this. Your brain is not broken. It is not failing. It is operating exactly as it was designed to operate when given the right environmental conditions. Millions of years of evolution built the most sophisticated biological repair and maintenance system that exists in the known universe, and it runs every single night while you are unconscious. The glymphatic flush, the emotional memory processing, the neurochemical replenishment, the immune system rebuilding, the hormonal recalibration. All of it happens automatically the moment your brain is given the right signals. The architecture restores itself when you stop disrupting it. Most people spend years, sometimes decades, blaming themselves for being tired, when the actual problem is that they have been unknowingly breaking the process every single night with the same few habits. Not because they are weak or undisciplined, because nobody told them what the process actually was. Now you know. Your tiredness is not a character trait. It is a correctable biological condition, and the correction starts tonight. If this changed how you understand your own exhaustion, subscribe to this channel. Every video here goes inside the actual mechanism so you stop guessing and start understanding. Like this video and share it with someone who has accepted being tired as just how they are now. Show them that it doesn't have to be.